Hey, everybody. This is Reel Spiel podcast, football edition, footy edition, soccer edition, however you want to call it. I'm your host, Roman. This is my co-host, Rahim.
What's up, y'all?
We're going to be, your two voices here for all things football, all things footy news, players, games. Soon we'll bring in some more of like ranking-based stuff. We'll, try to have some activity, almost like conversations here in the future. Very near future. We'll bring on some guests as well for that as well. It won't just be me and Rahim, but for now, we're gonna keep it nice and simple. Today, what do you want to talk about, Rahim?
I mean, on everybody's mind, Arsenal City tomorrow is big time.
Arsenal and City tomorrow is big time. We are definitely gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that first, actually. I think that's just too big to not talk about. That's what everybody's thinking about. That's what everybody's waiting on tomorrow. What time is it? Is it 2:45?
3 p.m.
3?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. On Peacock.
Hell yeah.
Y'all
I'll be there. I got it. That's exciting. What else do you want to talk about today?
I mean, Champions League. I think the quarterfinals threw such a wrench at everybody. Like at least on one side for me, my predictions were completely off. So to see a Milan derby and then to see City and Madrid, who I think you could say are the two best teams in the world, pound for pound, in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I mean, that's two extremely entertaining games.
That's very entertaining. For me. I'm excited, and I was definitely I thought Napoli was a lock for semifinal at least.
I thought final.
I really thought they were going to the final too.
I don't throw the word lock around easily.
Yeah.
But I was thinking lock, and I'll tell you what. I mean, I have to wrap myself out. I was riding for Benfica. I thought
really? I don't know what happened.
I think I could be wrong, but coming into it, I think they had one loss all season to Braga on pens, and an Inter team who looked mediocre for Inter at best.
Yeah,
and they worked them in Portugal. Back at the San Siro.
What's funny about that? Inter was coming in on bad form.
That's what I'm saying.
On top of being mediocre for what everyone expected. Lukaku's back. You know what I'm saying? They just made a little bit of noise last year.
That's
a little
what I'm
bit.
saying.
You know what I mean? They did not perform this year, really.
Right
until come to play Benfica.
Yeah, I think for Benfica, I mean, you want to talk about the Benficas, the Portos. I know in the past, I mean, that's old Porto. I mean, Jose Porto, but even early 2010 Portos. Those type of teams aren't going to come around that much. Even your Ajax making the Champions League final or semifinal in 2019.
Yeah.
Benfica this year, like I said, undefeated. I mean, João Mario, Gonçalo Ramos, like those guys balling. They rolled through Bruges, who were terrible in the round of 16. They come up against a bad form team who right now enters in 6th in Serie A.
It might be 7th. Is it 6th?
I thought it was 6th. But regardless, the point is they're not even that good. They didn't come up against some buzzsaw, and they still got handled. Like it wasn't like they just snuck by Benfica. Like it was easy for them.
Both legs. They won both legs easy.
Yeah, that's crazy for me.
No, the first leg was 1-0, I think, wasn't it?
I thought it was 2-0. I
Might
thought.
have been.
And was the second leg a draw or was it a win? Either way, though, it never felt like Benfica was in the tie.
No, it didn't.
And I'm not saying Benfica's some super house. Don't get it twisted. Everybody's out there saying they can compete for the Prem, but I'm just saying, I don't know. That was crazy to me. But so yeah, Champions League will be fascinating.
Yeah, we'll get into that after we have to talk about this Premier League race right now and what it comes down to. What it comes down to is tomorrow. I mean, after that draw,
you have to say that it comes down to tomorrow. I mean, that's what it's about.
It's not possible. What happens tomorrow if Arsenal wins tomorrow? It's impossible for City.
No. Because City are right now they're 2 games in hand.
Yeah,
and they're only down by
5 points.
So I mean, it's mathematically it's certainly possible. If Arsenal win tomorrow, I mean, huge.
It's
step.
a lock. Not a lock, but people say it's a guarantee
step.
if they win.
I would say tomorrow they've got their fingers on.
At that point,
trophy.
They've proved they can get through the
Facts.
pressure of trying to win the league.
I think it would stun everyone. To be honest,
I don't.
I mean, I was thinking about it. You're talking about Arsenal led the entire season. They're still up 5 points. I know they've stumbled 3 straight draws in weird fashion. It feels like they don't have a chance, right? Like, it feels like they are massive underdogs. Like, we're talking about some, like, long shot for them to even get a result tomorrow.
Because, look at What were they at the start of this year before any game was played?
That's what I'm talking about.
They were not.
This whole narrative is
people
is
thought it
bull
was
with
going to
them.
be what? City and Liverpool.
Right. A year and a half ago.
People didn't think Newcastle was going to make that much noise. Everyone knew Newcastle got better, but they did not. No one knew Newcastle was going to be the best home record.
Right.
Least goals conceded in the league. Come on now. No one.
Yeah.
This Premier League season has been
crazy,
odd and different.
For me, like lately, it feels Chelsea fans. They're dying for good news.
They need good news. I almost feel bad at this point.
Spurs fans the same. They're dying. I mean, Conte and Stellini gone within 4 games. 6-1 to Newcastle. They're dying. So everybody wants to pick on Arsenal right now. This rewriting over the last 2 weeks because of the draws with West Ham and Liverpool and now Saints. This rewriting, the biggest bottle job in history. This, a failure of a season. You're talking about the youngest Premier League team. You're talking about a manager in his first full-time coaching job.
First full year.
A year and a half ago, I was seeing the new Big Six with an X through Arsenal, and Leicester's in there. Now they're in 17th.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. So to say a failure, second place, I mean, it's not good, and it hurts that they're falling off. But
what were they last year?
That's a 5th.
Not in the Champions League spot.
They haven't been in the Champions League since 16-17.
Yeah, and they haven't performed in the Europa. So it's just good to see. It's good to see they're what they are trying to be. What their project is working.
Right.
At the end of the day, Arsenal is succeeding for sure.
And I think seeing names on paper influences in everything, in every sport, but certainly in football, is when you looked at these names on paper, like you keep saying at the beginning of the season, you don't think this is a team competing. When you look at the names on this City side, you're like, okay, this team will walk Arsenal.
Yeah.
And, they might tomorrow, but, yeah, no. It's crazy to sit here and rewrite over the last 6 weeks of the season coming up that Arsenal had some sort of failure. It's a bottle job, but
the team who's won how many in the last 5 years versus the team who hasn't even.
That's what I'm saying. And they are playing the scariest champions.
You said hasn't been in a Europa or a Champions League spot since 16-17. Come on now, a failure, bottlers. Come on,
I could be wrong, but I think
they're
that's
bottling.
Right.
They are bottling, but they're not failures at all.
Yeah, there's a difference. Blowing the title lead, factually that's true.
They are massively improved from last year, and they're a team that you don't want to see early in the Champions League next year.
No.
They're going to be hungry. They're going to be hungry.
They're getting better. Now, they're not proven in Europe, but that's a perfect
you know what
thing
I mean?
to say. Everyone wants to hate on
they're
them
that team. If they're the third good team in a group,
deadly.
It's a dead group. That's a deadly group. You don't want. Things could get interesting for Arsenal in the future. Things could get interesting tomorrow for Arsenal. Say they do win.
Crazy.
Say it's 1-0 at halftime. Arsenal's up. Gabriel Jesus.
Which, is he the likely scorer? I don't know.
I'm just saying 1-0. Yeah. Just imagine.
That's what I'm saying.
The only way I think they win is if they score first. And I almost want to say, I was thinking they got to score first and early.
Yeah.
I think if they can prove for 35 minutes that they can not concede a goal and then get one, 40 minutes in, get one right before the half.
Exactly.
Now you're talking about a game. If Man City scores in the first 20 minutes.
Cooked.
It's
over.
It's over.
You might have to turn a blockbuster matchup. You might have to turn the TV off, and I hate to say that way, but I'm going in with this mindset. You asked me to make a prediction. I'm going in with this mindset that it's City's to lose, undoubtedly. At the Etihad, title race, they know what they're doing.
They haven't beat them in how many in a row?
I don't know that off the top of my head, but I
think it's like 11. 11 games in a row against Arsenal, since the last time they didn't win, I want to say.
Yeah. And, your Arsenal coming off of your last 3 games. 87th minute equalizer to Firmino in Liverpool. West Ham, your star boy misses a pen, and you blow a 2-0 lead. And Southampton, my team, I support.
What a performance.
The bottom of the league. What a performance. But a goal.
But they also tried to lose. They lost 2 points.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what's scary for Arsenal.
20th place is walking out of that game thinking, man, what a bummer we tied Arsenal. That's the state of Arsenal right now in these last few weeks is they're just so all over the place and they can't hold the lead.
The ending to that game was interesting though. They had 2 chances. They could have won the game.
Could have been 4-3.
And I was like, at 3-1, I was like, I'm looking at the TV I'm looking at my phone, but like this is
you're shocked.
They're over. They're done.
And their title race is over, not just.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they're cooked. At this point, they're cooked. They're down 3-1 to 20th.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's I think that's a better quality team than what we've seen at 20th in the last few years for sure.
Easily, no question. And and maybe we can talk about that. The relegation battle's absurd.
It's absurd.
Absurd.
But I do think that they could the game could be interesting if Arsenal can get a goal in the first half. If they can get a goal in the first half, you never know.
Yeah. I tell you what, and if I may, why I think my prediction.
If I may, of course you may.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that like somebody else was going to talk. But so right away, when I was thinking prediction, I was like, all right, City win. Let me just say by how much. And actually, I backtracked. I got to say, two things stuck out to me massively. The last time Arsenal played City, February 15th, it was 3-1 City. I mean, we all remember it was like, okay, so City might be taking this.
It was 1-0 Arsenal, though.
It was what?
Wasn't it 1-0 Arsenal in that game?
No, it was 3-1.
No, like Arsenal was up 1-0.
Oh, was it? Dang, I forgot now, to be honest.
I think they went up 1-0.
All I can remember is what I was about to say is Tomiyasu, stinker. I mean, shocking. Coming back off his injury, and then now he's re-injured, of course. I mean, shocking. No Ben White. Ben White, I don't know where this has come from. Center back, turn right back. He's fantastic. And who would you say, I mean, okay, I know we have Haaland, I know we have De Bruyne, is City's best player on form in the last 2 months, for me, is Jack Grealish. He's changing.
On the ball.
On the ball. Yeah, I'm sorry. Attacking, creative-wise. He's changing the game. So you're talking about a Jack Grealish red hot against a Tomiyasu who looked like he wanted to lose that day.
He looked like he had a bet out.
Yeah, of course they got cooked. So now Ben White's in the game. For me, that's factor one. I think that's huge. Second is Gabriel Jesus versus Eddie Nketiah. Nketiah, this whole thing, he went viral with that little song, Nketiah's in the room. All this is he scored the goals, whatever, big man, target, he's put on weight. He's not bad. I'm not hating on him. He goes to a mid-table side, scores a few goals. Gabriel Jesus is completely different. He drifts out wide. He drifts off the left. Gabriel Martinelli is a goal-scoring winger. He comes inside.
Gabriel can play make, too. And I don't mean like he's not like he's not going to sit there and ping ball, but he's like he's got that instinct. You know, Brazil plays that. Brazil wants to ping the ball in the box to each other, you know, and not even have it touch the ground if they don't have to.
Exactly.
You know, they can do that. He has that extra flick factor, extra get a touch to another player at the last second when you don't think he's going to get to it. You know what I mean? Like, and Nketiah, he's a pretty, good finisher. He's for a Premier League player, I'd call him a good finisher. And he makes great runs, and he forces the defense he asks the defense questions. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah.
I think Jesus could stress this City 3-back that we've been seeing this.
No Ake tomorrow.
Oh, that's crucial.
So I think that's when, if he's gonna give that if he's gonna have that roaming role to either side like that, like if he wants it,
crazy. And pulling that now. This guy's been incredible. John Stones, right back, DM hybrid. I mean, wherever
you want to play him out there.
Yeah.
He could play left back.
I mean, that's why Pep is who Pep is. I mean, genius. He's made this guy. I mean, John Stones has already been good at center back, but he looks like a center mid. I mean, why are we saying center mid John Stones?
He's taking the best of his ability.
That's what I'm saying.
He's using the best of his ability, and he's making him a better player.
Right. We're talking about a $50 million center back.
Pep makes better players better, whether you like it or not.
I like it.
Cancelo doesn't. Cancelo might not like that, but
yeah, I was about to say, but I don't think Cancelo likes anybody. I mean, he goes to Bayern, and I don't think he's getting on there very well
think so either.
Actually, I shouldn't say I don't think. I know that. I mean, he's getting sparing minutes and all this. Cancelo's a whole nother thing. If you don't agree with Pep, the problem's probably you, because the guy's a genius.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
flat
done
out.
He's done it
every time.
Yeah. Is there anything else? Laporte coming in for Ake most likely, or is it confirmed?
I mean, it's not.
Well,
confirmed.
I don't think it's confirmed till 2 hours before.
Yeah,
really.
I don't
really
know.
An hour before.
I don't even know who else they would plan on bringing. Maybe they move Stones and then they play Walker, but so Pep
might try. Do you think he would try Rodri back there?
Rodri is the best defensive mid in world football.
Yeah.
I just don't think you can pull him out of midfield right now.
I think he'll play. If Laporte's in, I think Rodri won't be. I think he'll play deeper than average.
Exactly, and that sucks. That's what I'm saying, and that's why in the end I went with 2-2 a draw. I couldn't believe that, honestly. When I wrote it down, I was like, no way, City's going to win this thing. But I don't know. That Ake missing, for me, Ake has been the best defender for City and in the league this season, and maybe in the world. I mean, he's been that good. I know that's maybe crazy to say when we're talking about Nathan Ake.
In the last 3 weeks, I'd say Diaz has been better. But over the course of the season,
that's fair.
Ake's been by far the best City.
Right.
He's been the most consistent City defender easily.
And so now it goes from three center
backs.
At
defending also.
Yeah. That 3 center backs with Ake, Diaz, and Akanji. Akanji's a ball player. He's not like this out-and-out class defender.
No.
Now you take away Ake, you put in Laporte, who is even more so. He may be the best center back on the ball, but he's not great defensively.
Yeah, he's not very quick.
Diaz is fighting for his own against Saka, this roaming Jesus, like you say.
And then the roaming Odegaard. Like, they play so if turnovers could cost them. City can't turn the ball over against Arsenal. Like,
exactly.
I think Arsenal is going to come out hungrier than people are realizing.
Yeah.
Until that first goal, I think the team you'll see, because City can score a goal and have no momentum. They can out of nowhere they can shock you.
They have that.
They have that.
Yeah.
They have De Bruyne. You turn the ball over because you tried to thread a needle.
Right.
You didn't. Now De Bruyne's got it. Haaland's through.
Facts.
It can be that simple on any team in the world.
Easy.
But I think they're going to come out fighting, and if they can make it to halftime, not losing the game.
Right.
Because now I think City's like, wait a minute, are we going to win?
I think they have to. I think Arsenal have to almost convince themselves that they actually can. I think going into the game, maybe they might be saying in their team talk, yeah, we can do this. Arteta's like, you got to believe, but in reality, I don't know if they believe that. That's in their heads.
Exactly.
And so if they can get through 45, like you're saying, either even or ahead, then they're like, all right, maybe this is for real. So I do want to say, we're talking about this whole how Arsenal can get at City. And again, that's because for me, City are the favorites. If City wins tomorrow, I know I said draw, but I'm not going to be shocked. I don't think anybody should be shocked. We're completely not addressing Rob Holding will be starting at center back against Erling Haaland tomorrow.
That's more detrimental than Militao out for
I can't imagine
that first leg of that.
I'd be concerned when Rob Holding goes up against Danny Welbeck right now or Shea Adams, but we're talking about Erling Haaland. Rob Holding.
Holding.
The one thing you might say about this Brexit backup center back is big physical fight. Who's he fighting? He's not fighting the Norwegian. I know that. So
Haaland's eating that right alive.
Oh my!
He's eating him alive. He's going to devour him.
And Gabriel's had a great season, but he can't pull Holding's weight too. He's not good enough to do that. Ben White at right back, crucial.
Saliba's out, so there's you can't.
They're done. Xhaka back in training, and Xhaka should play tomorrow. That's big.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is big.
The midfield is crazy. I saw a combined 11 earlier.
I think it'll be a good midfield battle tomorrow.
Oh, fantastic.
Was there an Arsenal player in the?
No, so there wasn't an Arsenal midfielder in the 11 at all. And look, Partey, amazing. Xhaka, so underrated.
Is Odegaard a midfielder?
Odegaard, some people were saying, and maybe still, because Arsenal's still in the lead. I think we're talking like they've already lost it. Is maybe Odegaard's player of the year. But for me, when I saw De Bruyne, Rodri, Bernardo in midfield, I didn't bat an eye. You would drop? Who would you drop for one of the Arsenal guys?
Who's the right winger? Saka. Who's the left winger? Grealish.
So this one had Martinelli over Grealish.
I could go with.
I could rock with that, and
especially in the last 2 months. Yeah, Martinelli's been the only shining factor, really. I mean, he's had a couple mistakes for them, but chances missed.
Yeah,
but,
of course. And the foul the other day, he went all WWE.
Yeah, that's nutty. But he's his form. He's got a good amount of goals in the last 10 games. I think.
Last 10 games. I think he's got 15 or 16 this season.
Yeah.
In the Prem as a winger, and I mean, what is he? 21.
Yeah. He's a bright star for them, but this season he's been, or since it's gone bad.
Since they've started to shake, he's been there.
Yeah.
So for me, it could be a flip of the coin between him and Grealish, and because Arsenal are first, I'll give Martinelli. It was 11 or it was 9 City players and 2 Arsenal players, but technically still Arsenal's ahead. So you're like, all right, that just doesn't seem right. So at least give him Martinelli. I would give him Ramsdale over Ederson. Ederson's more established, but
last game he played well.
Who's he?
Ederson.
Yeah.
Who'd they play last game?
He's a great keeper, but
I hate him.
You hate. Well, they played Sheffield United in the
Cup.
No,
then it wasn't that. I don't think it was them.
Play?
Who'd they play? It might have been the Munich. Might have been.
Oh yeah,
I might just be thinking the Munich game.
Yeah.
He surprised me the other day.
No, he can play.
But Ramsdale, he's made more saves. Yeah.
They're both kind of those like good keepers, but error prone.
They will make an error.
Well, Ramsdale, to be fair, against Charlie Alcaraz the other day, passed it right to Theo Walcott, easy goal against Saints.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy at that level in a title race that you're making those mistakes. But
that's what like blows my mind about Harry Maguire. Like, not that they're in a title race, but like he does that.
He can't
once
catch
every
a
3
break.
games.
I think it's like it's a sickness or something now, like for everyone, himself included mainly. But like,
I don't think he ever needed to be in a team that big and not be like a captain.
He's
never been given the armband.
No, because that was shocking.
Because he's not that bad.
He's not that
but
bad.
But you made him out to. He's not Ruben Diaz. He was never Ruben Diaz.
80 million, isn't that right? From Leicester. I mean, great World Cup run, slab head, and all that. But come on, let's be for real. He's underrated. Good ball player. At this point,
Maguire probably is underrated. Like,
he's the least rated footballer in the entire Prem. He has to be, right?
He's mistake prone because of the spotlight. I think at this point, just too much pressure.
No, you ever have it? My friends and I
think he would thrive at Arsenal.
Not
thrive,
FIFA,
but
you ever play with the player and you're mad at him, like you're like he's not that good, and he starts to play worse, like but you're the one controlling him. It's like Maguire isn't actively.
And now you want to sub him like it was.
Like
it's not your fault.
It's us. Like we're convincing ourselves, I think. But
to a degree, you're definitely right about that.
Nah.
And that's I saw a video about this today. Like a TikTok, like one of those core, like it's got a sentimental sound on it, trying to make you feel something with different
nature in the background.
No, it was like a soccer core.
Oh yeah,
it was soccer core is what they called it because it was clearly like an American-made thing. And it was like some players talking about mental health, like you don't understand like 5-6 different players talking about it. I think I saved it. I'll send it to you. But like talking about how like Lingard, it was Jesse Lingard was one of them. I mean, he's not, you know what I'm saying? Then it made sense because people was like, "What do you think of Lingard? He was this and was supposed to be this and started to do that." And he's like, I couldn't handle it. He's like, I was going through this, I was going through that, and then I was going through the stuff at home people don't know about.
That's what I'm saying.
And then I was out drinking too much, and then I had to perform every single week on top of that. And I was like,
you gotta be peak.
You know, and like they're young, they're giving all this money. Like it's not easy to be talked about negatively every week.
I mean, people like they fail in their jobs, like normal people, like fail in their jobs and they get down, like depressed and stuff like that. Imagine you fail in your job on national television and everyone is talking about it on Twitter. Like we get off this podcast right now, like we get fired somehow and we go on Twitter and everyone is like Rahim and Roman like shocking, like these guys are jokes, should never
I
touch
knew it was
mic.
Coming.
What the hell? Like they should have never paid that much. Like what?
Yeah.
Like what?
That's funny.
Nah, yeah, crazy.
So yeah, 2-2, I can see that. I can see a 2-2. I can see a 1-0.
You agree draw. I thought you was going to say City win for sure.
I say no, I mean I wouldn't bet on a draw. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't bet on that either.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm lying. I'd be surprised. If Arsenal had a 2-0 lead and the game ended 2-2, I would not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That leads to my point. That's what I was saying. Like, if they score first, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And they try to hold it out.
And they get equalized on immediately. You know what I'm saying?
We're talking about title winners trying to hold out a lead. That's what they were doing against West Ham. That's what they were doing against Liverpool. And they were trying to chase against 20th place. It's got trouble.
They caught him, though.
20th place.
They caught him, though.
I watch all Southampton's
3-1 in what minute?
We suck, man.
You know.
Everybody catches us.
Nobody
needs to catch us.
You parked the bus, and they still got
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about City.
You're right. City, I don't even know why I'm trying to compare.
Yeah, City beat a team who had 97 points and didn't win the title because of this City side. They're different. They're a beast in a title race. I mean, they are breathing down Arsenal's neck.
They're hungry.
The only guy who I think can handle it is this is football, not ballet. Granit Xhaka. I think everyone else, Odegaard,
and he might
fantastic
get a
player,
card.
but you're too pretty. I think they're all feeling it. I mean, you have to. This team's crazy.
Yeah, but I don't know. You know, I think we could see magic. What it is that I want to see it. I want the Arsenal to prove people wrong.
Facts.
Just tomorrow. Like, I don't even care if they lose the league. Honestly.
Yeah. No,
I
disclaimer,
wouldn't mind.
I want Arsenal to win the league. I love Pep. I love City. I love the way they do things. I do want Arsenal to win the league for the league.
I think it changes everything.
That's
for
what I'm
the
saying.
league.
It's huge.
You know?
I think, big time.
and it it kind of I think it would make City an even better team next year. Is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it just do a lot of good things for the league.
Yeah.
You know, we just have to see. We just have to wait and see. I could see the 2-2. I'm going 3-1 if I had to bet on it.
3-1.
I'm going 3-1
and
City.
You will bet on it.
Probably. I'm going 3-1 City. Arsenal scores first. Concedes 3. I almost want to say 1-0 at halftime. I almost want to say 1-0 at halftime. I really want to say 1-0 at halftime, but I'll go 1-1 at half. Arsenal score 2. I mean, City score 2.
I'll stick with my 2-2, but I would never bet on that. I mean,
I'm not going to bet on. I'm just going to bet City to win. I'm just going to throw a little something on City to win, maybe. But I don't see. Draw would be crazy.
Draw would be crazy. That's
what I want to see. I'd love that. A 2-2 draw?
Because then it keeps the title race
alive.
Locked in. We're right there. Yeah.
And after seeing them,
right.
And it's just like, okay, they just scored 2 against City and didn't lose.
Yeah.
They're back, like they've got their heads back on.
That's
what I mean?
Instant classic. I think everyone's anticipating City wins every game after this, regardless of what happens. Arsenal still have a tough run. I think they have Newcastle. What we say? They have they got Chelsea at home, Newcastle away, Brighton at home. Those aren't easy games.
Those are not easy games.
Whereas City, I mean, they do have Brighton away, but I think they walk a lot of those teams. So, I think it'll be crazy. Maybe it's me hoping to see a 2-2, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I think it'd be the best thing to see.
We'll see.
We will. Anything else in the Premier League you want to talk about this year? Any surprises you've seen? I mean, I did just mention Newcastle earlier, but we didn't really touch on much other teams. I mean, I know the title race isn't anyone else, but there's still been some surprises. Manchester United, for a second, we thought, oh, wow, Ten Hag's made the difference. And I still think he has.
I think he has. No,
but they started,
I agree.
Which is typical for Man United. I hope it's not typical for Ten Hag to come. I hope that's not a reoccurring thing. I hope it's more of like a.
I think he'll be good. I mean, you're talking about Weghorst's striker, Sancho issues.
They're going to spend some money. They're going to get
facts.
Yeah,
they needed Rashford to go on some crazy tear to even stay in that vein. I
hate we were a victim of that. Even
he really
caught them right at the end of their good, because then they went on bad form right after that.
That finish from that tight angle on the counter, he was feeling it. I mean, in that vein of form, he's unreal.
He's unreal.
Going at the goal like that. He's the prototype.
He can be one of those most dangerous players in the world type of guys.
Easily for me, yeah. I'm not going to sit here and I don't love Rashford's all-around game. I don't anymore. He's a goal-scoring winger. I know he can play the 9, but when he's in form, and this goes for a lot of guys, but when he's in form.
And taking players on and beating the players.
Who was that goal he scored against? I think it was Arsenal, in that crazy game, 3-2. He, touched it inside Meg, someone.
Oh, yeah.
Post, right
that
foot.
was crazy.
That's him at his best.
Yeah, I like that Rashford.
Yeah, for sure.
But that Rashford needs a open field, open game, chaotic type game, and that's not what Ten Hag wants to do. And I'm not saying he's not going to thrive without that, but
no, it's so true though.
They've got to make sure they let him isolate and make run, he needs to be playing like Vinicius. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to be face to face with the defender.
That's what I'm saying. No, not at all. He's not playing these intricate passes. You've got Bruno
Fernandes. You've got Bruno Fernandes.
Exactly. I think that's why they want to bring in this Kane, that move.
Yeah, I think that would be crazy.
I think Osimhen's a crazy baller, but I don't think they need I don't know that that's a smart move for them because of how he pairs with Rashford. And even Bruno. Bruno can play a great pass, but he's not this tiki-taka, tight space kind of guy. I mean, okay, I'm not trying to underrate Bruno. I have hated on him in the past, called him a rat, but he's a fantastic player. I think they need this creator. They need that guy. And that's what Ten Hag likes to play. Tadic at Ajax was that guy. I think they thought Weghorst was going to be that, but I don't. Well,
they thought he was going to be
he's a replacement.
They thought he was going to be hold the ball up and give it to Rashford or give it to Sancho, who, what I mean, just hold the ball up and don't lose it while we, you know what I mean? That's because that's all he does.
It begs the question, a healthy, ice-cold Martial, I mean.
I'm a hater.
Hater? I mean, okay,
he's never.
I'm saying hater like I'm some big Martial guy.
No. He's never lived up to what I think I thought he would have.
No,
and what people said
close.
he was. You know what I mean?
They said he was the next Henry.
No, that's crazy.
He has a Ballon d'Or
I
clause.
remember reading that. Like I remember reading that, and people like tried to compare early achievements. Like it was
that goal against Van Dijk where he did the little cut in. Oh yes, you know that one.
Yes.
That is hard. But next Henry Ballon d'Or clause, like, let's be for real. Like, come on,
now.
Nah, he's a good player, but I think they should look for a 9 for me.
I think so.
We'll see.
I think so.
But what I want to talk about was Aston Villa. I think it's getting enough attention under Unai Emery. When he takes over, Gerrard fired. They're in 16th. They have this bloated squad because, I mean, they spend money. I mean,
they do.
Emi Buendia. I'm trying to think. I mean, Ollie Watkins a few years ago, and we know what kind of form he's in now.
Didn't he? They renewed him too, I think.
Yes, recently.
He gave him a bag.
And I mean, you can keep going. Douglas Luiz, blah, blah, blah. They spend money. They're not these little guys.
No.
16th is a problem, and that's why they sacked Gerrard. Is Unai Emery skyrockets them to 6th. And a little aside, Unai Emery, good evening, at Arsenal, he gets this hate because he was
I don't get that.
I don't get it either. I don't get it. You look at his record, and as a La Liga connoisseur, I know you know this. What is it? He made the semifinals just recently with Villarreal in the Champions League. They beat Bayern.
He made the semifinal. He's in the no. He was in. I want to say he made a Copa del Rey semifinal too.
Well, he won 2 Europa Leagues with Sevilla.
Yeah.
Valencia in the past. He made Europa League. At PSG, he went there before Arsenal. He has their highest winning record or winning percentage maybe ever. And
wow, I didn't know
run
that.
through managers. He was the manager for the remontada against you guys, 6-1. But I mean, highest winning percentage, Europa Leagues everywhere he goes. Villa skyrocketing. Let's respect this guy.
He knows Europe. He knows how to play European ball.
And for Arsenal, they weren't even that bad. They made the Europa League final. He knows
he's a great European coach.
He's got a thing for Europa League, I guess. But I just want to say that. Shout out Villa. I don't think Ollie Watkins is all that. I think he's red hot. But shout out Villa. I just want to say that.
I'm glad they've because they needed to. Like they've got the players to do it.
Yeah,
they've got the players to be better.
They're like West Ham consistently has been high, not this season, but consistently has been high. I think Villa had the same.
They used to spend a little more money too.
Yeah, and they do spend. I mean, Gianluca Scamacca this summer for $40 million or whatever, and he's been a bust, which is surprising, but a bust. Okay, let's talk about. Unless you had something, I would love to talk about the value in the relegation battle. You talked about it. The most talented teams we've ever seen in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
I mean, name those players. We're talking about Declan Rice. We just said Scamacca, but honestly, he's not even high up the list. James Maddison.
How many games
left?
Yeah, I want to see.
A lot of teams have 7 to 5 games left. But, I mean, Ward-Prowse for Saints. Everton, I don't know if you pick one out, but I mean, they got a few guys. Onana, for me,
They
baller.
definitely do. They've been in shit form too.
Forest, they signed 40 new players. They're in a relegation battle. Leeds. Now,
didn't Forest get worked twice this year pretty badly?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about big works because Southampton are notorious 9-0s, but Forest were Bournemouth were 9-0 against Liverpool.
Nottingham has some players
No, they have Keylor Navas and Felipe are obviously notable. Serge Aurier, Awoniyi, Brendan Johnson's a baller. He will not be in the championship. That's what they always talk about. I think when a team gets relegated, it's like these two guys, they're not going to play in the championship next season. They're going to get bought. With these teams, you're like 7, 8, 9. You're like, holy cow. I mean, God love in this country, God love Leeds is, Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams. I think that injury's killing them.
Yeah.
Brendan Aronson.
I thought they would be a little higher this year.
Me too. And I think, bold take, I think looking at the rest of their games, I think they might go down. I think they're in 16th, and I think they're in trouble. Forest might sneak it out. But I think Everton, Leeds, Southampton is down, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Leeds, they are up a game on everybody below them. Other than Leicester, so they very well could move lower. And
their running, if I wrote it down, is horrible. Let me tell you, it is. No, I didn't. I didn't write it down. Well, I'm glad I made a big scene about it. But anyways,
the Premier League this year, it's the relegation. I mean, Leicester's in the relegation zone.
Leicester.
It's just.
I mean, and guys have fallen off the map for them. I mean, Soyuncu is unplayable and he's leaving. Ndidi. Remember when Ndidi was getting best DM in the league shouts or, that kind of thing?
Last year.
Yeah, and this guy's gone. I mean, yeah. It's because, their scouting was unsustainable. They lost Conte. They bring in Ndidi. Well, they got Conte in the first place.
Yeah.
They got Mahrez. Then
they keep trying to replace players they had. That's not going to work.
And it worked for a little bit. That's why they were able to win the FA Cup again.
Yeah.
I will say this. If Leicester get relegated, they're fans and no one can have any complaints. They come up out of nowhere, win the Prem, as everyone knows, in the craziest way possible. Then they go on to win the FA Cup. I mean, Jamie Vardy has an FA Cup and a Premier League. Certain English strikers who get a lot of hype don't have either of those.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, let's respect them. If they get relegated, they get relegated. And that sucks. But they've
got what they earned.
Run.
They got what they earned. They earned a lot in unexpected time.
Unbelievable.
So that's gonna be it for us today. Reel Spiel Footy Football Podcast. We're gonna keep it coming. We will have a very quick second one out for you all with some Champions League predictions. We didn't get to them today. We're definitely gonna get to those ASAP. Those games are coming up very soon, and we're gonna get some concrete predictions out for that. Maybe see if anything changes with those teams, up until then, and give us a more, a little bit more time to come up with some concrete decisions, because I don't have a clue who. I couldn't pick Madrid or City right now. I couldn't. I need more time. We will get to it. Thank you all. My name's Roman. I'm your host. This is my co-host Rahim.
Thanks, y'all.
Reel Spill, everybody.